Hey everybody, TacBishop here. Got some audio visual aids today for as you saw the title of the video, but this is going to be a couple of videos I wanted to show and to try to make a point at how truckers are making things hard on themselves and basically just being a jerk. I know there's times I get some joy out of, when you're driving on a rainy day and you get that big tsunami that's pushing out from under the trailer both directions, and when cars normally try to pace the back of your trailer and cut you off, it's impossible to stay there when it's raining just because of that big wake shoving out of the back of the truck. But I don't purposely try to hold them there. When I'm passing and they hit it, they have to back off. Okay. But this guy here called Daniel Kanabe, he puts a video up on Say No to Bonehead Truckers. He claims he wanted to put it up in case he lost his phone or something. And I wanted to show you the video. You've probably already seen it, but this is off of his site. Okay, we come over here to Daniel Kanabe Facebook page. And you can see here is the original video. I'm not going to play it because it's not safe for work or home. I've tried to keep my videos clean enough. If you open it up at Grandma's house on Christmas morning, you won't be embarrassed with curse words or whatever. But here is a cleaned up version. The TV news version did a story, and we'll go with that. I'm going to back it up just a little bit and play the news version.
Well, Daniel Kanabe's been harvesting corn and soybeans since he can remember.
So you see right there, it's a truck breaking dispute. And we're going to break this. We're going to break this guy down and see who you think's in the right and why this guy just causing unnecessary headache on himself and truckers in general as giving us a bad name.
Patience that was quickly tested Tuesday.
There's the bleeped out version.
What you do in the world? What you do in front of my house is not a shame.
Kanabe recorded this video inside his work truck, then posted it on Facebook. It's now going viral.
Get out of this.
So I just figured I'll just keep the door shut, try to keep the peace,
So you're going to keep the door shut and try to keep the peace because he's been so wronged and so victimized that he just really don't want to do with himself.
Anything escalating.
But this outpouring of rage did not just bubble over in
I'm
one
going to point out a few things
Kanabe
here.
and this man, Tim Pardee, tell me they've been in disagreement for a year and a half now.
So this boy's been doing this. Daniel Kanabe has been doing this for a year and a half, and here's what he's been doing.
Here is the issue. Kanabe drives his 18-wheeler in front of Pardee's house when he transports grain. And when Kanabe goes by, he runs his engine brakes that make this noise. And it says,
now you hear that engine brake. That's really an engine brake tuned up, tight as it'll go, and running off a straight pipe. So it's designed to make a lot of noise.
at least Pardee doesn't like engine braking.
Now it says that Pardee doesn't like engine brakes, but look how this guy runs his engine brake. Did you hear him? You see him going through the intersection, raring the engine brake as hard as he can. Now let's go to Google Street View and look at the area. If you look over here, right here where the finger is, there's the mill that he loads out of. Or he comes down here, makes this left-hand turn down to Tim Pardee's road. He comes up here. Let's move on down. Coming up on Tim Pardee. This intersection, there's a stop sign one direction, but there wasn't one the other direction, if you spotted that. Now right here on the right is Tim Pardee's home, right here. And you notice there's no stop signs, no reason to stop. You see the little bushes there that were in the video. He was shooting it, looked like from his porch. So this Daniel Kanabe that is so victimized by this man intentionally just pumps his Jake brake through here, claiming, this is what he claims.
But Kanabe says he does it for one reason.
It saves on wear and tear on your brakes. And brakes get pretty expensive on these things, especially when you're talking.
Now I agree with him. A Jake brake does save you on your brakes, and if you're applying the brakes, but you could clearly see he was just going through an intersection just to make the Jake brake run hard to aggravate this man that he's been doing for a year and a half.
10 sets of brakes.
The question, is it illegal to engine brake in small towns? And the answer is no. It's only illegal if a city passes an ordinance against it. And most of those cities will put up signs like this one saying that it's prohibited. But in Oaxaca, there is no such ordinance. So like it or not.
Okay, right here, you look at this. This is not your standard diesel horns. These are these locomotive horns. They're super loud. I think they're really unnecessary, but the guys like to run them and blow them at people and scare people, which is really the main purpose of there. They're fun, but you know, I just think it comes a time you have to back off. All this guy would have to do is just...
Kanabe doesn't plan to stop engine braking.
I honestly don't really know what more I can do besides maybe turn this into law enforcement there in Iowa and see if they can do something since it was in Iowa.
See, Daniel Kanabe is just such a victim here. He's just driving to haul his little corn and doesn't understand why this man's freaking out after he's been doing this engine brake for 1.5 years in front of his house. And you can see it was really an excessive, overbearing engine brake. I don't feel sorry for Daniel Kanabe and this man here. Eventually he'll get his ordinance passed, I guess. If you look at the town from the overhead view, if this thing will do it quickly, it's not much of a town. It's just like a neighborhood with the grain mill right here. So he loads here in this grain mill. Let me zoom in a little bit. There's the grain bins right there, right here. Pull in this driveway, you load, go back out this road, go down Main Street, take the right down to Tim Pardee's house and run your Jake brake on the way past his house. When there's a stop sign here, you're barely getting speed up 1 block and you feel the need to punch your Jake brake again in front of this man's house. Okay, so you see what I'm saying. I hope I make sense of this subject, but the guy's engine braking, and for those of you that don't know what an engine brake is, it slows the truck down without applying the brakes. It won't stop it, but it helps hold back when you're going down mountains and stuff like that. And I use one sometime in my truck when I'm loaded. I don't use it when I'm empty because it sets the little drive camera off because it jerks so hard, but it'll help you stop at a stop sign. But you can clearly see that this guy is not at a stop sign. He's intentionally running his Jake brake hard, and the faster you go, the harder it runs. So if you really tack it up and run your RPMs up and then back out of it, it really hits hard then. And that sounded like that's what he was doing in front of the guy's house, as you saw from the video. And there's just no call for this, you know. And they posted it in Say No to Bonehead Truckers Facebook page, and I looked at some of the comments, and they were, oh yeah, I know this guy, I know this area, I know this house. Now they all plan to go riding by there with their Jake brakes. So, and eventually this guy will get a city ordinance passed. You know, like I said, it was a little small town, but he'll do something about it, and then you won't be able to run your Jake brake through there, and then he may even have it bypass where no through trucks. Stuff like that happens from time to time. So there's no need in aggravating somebody just because they're aggravated, because we get enough of this stuff anyway. You know, if you're, like I said before, if you're in front of a vehicle, you're too slow. And then if you're in back of the vehicle, You're too fast. You're on my bumper. You're in my way. I can't turn. There's always a complaint with a truck without giving them something to complain about even more. And just, I don't understand it. But let me know if you think I'm right. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But I don't like people bullying people like that. That's all it is, bullying. And then when you get called out, when the guy comes up to your window, now you want to take the high ground, as you said. The guy was scared of the guy. He was an older guy, but you could tell he was in pretty good shape. And Daniel's not in the best of shape. He's had a few too many cheeseburgers for his young age. And he's way out of shape for that age. And he didn't want none of that old man. He might could have handled him anyway, but he didn't know, because he was kicking. And anyway, I'm going to go with that. TacBishop, signing out. Thank you all for subscribing and viewing, and thumbs up if you like the video. And I'll see you Thursday.